Hello, today I quickly want to take you through how to use Photoshop for dropshipping. In my opinion, if you want to make any money online, you need to know at least a little bit of Photoshop. Mine isn't that great, but it got me to being profitable, and it got me to the point where I can just pay other people who are really good. But when you start out, you don't want to be dishing out money like that. You want to do the basic stuff yourself. So I'm just going to teach you, some super basic Photoshop. So I made a quick list of some of the most important things I think you can do. One of them is you can isolate an object, and then so get rid of the background, which is great for collection and product pages. You can increase the size of an object to make it look like it's bigger than it actually is. And you can increase the saturation of an object, which is basically the thing that you want to sell in your ad. You can make brighter and more colorful than the background, so it makes it stand out more. And other stuff which is also super useful is to extend the backgrounds and fill in missing gaps in your images. I'll take you through it anyway. But if you don't have Photoshop, I think it's about £30 to £20 a month, which is quite expensive. If you know how to crack it, I would just recommend doing that. Or if you have a mate that knows how to crack it, just ask him to do it for you. That would be my advice. Okay. Let's begin. So this is the first product I ever did sales in. I think I did about £2,000–3,000 worth of sales of this product, and I broke even or lost a little bit of money. But this is the first product I ever actually made any significant sales in, and I tried recently to sell it on Pinterest and it didn't work. Is what it is. That's fine. And so I'll just take you through the process of what I did. Because Pinterest, you want 1000 by 1500. This is a square photo, so I'll just show you. I'll take you through an example of what you need to, of how to get Photoshop to work for dropshipping. So the first thing we want to do to get this Pinterest ready is and you can use these same techniques for Facebook ads as well. This isn't specific to Pinterest. I'm just giving an example of what I did yesterday or the day before. So first thing you want to do, any image that you upload to Photoshop, you need to right click the layer here, and you see the bottom right, this is the layer, so this is what's on top of each other. So if I put that behind the background, you can't do it for the background, but if you had like another image and its layer was higher up here or lower down, that would be on top of the other image. I hope that makes sense. So if you right click that and click Rasterize, I don't know what that means, I just know you need to click that before you edit the image. Okay. So we want to fill in this white space and make the whole thing look seamless. So the way to do that is using this rectangular marquee tool. Select the part of the image that you want to extend, and then press Shift CTRL Alt C all at the same time, and it'll bring that up. And I'm not sure how you do it. There's a button here that does it. I've forgotten how to actually find it. I only know the short key now. But Shift CTRL Alt C, press it at the same time, and then hold Shift while you drag this up. There you go. So you've just turned a square image. Then you can do the same here. You need to be a bit careful. If I caught that cube and I did it, it would extend the cube as well. Look, I barely extended it at all. That's fine. Okay, I really messed that up. Control Z, go back. Control Z, go back. Escape, Control Z. There we go. Let's do it again. I'll give you an example. If I extend everything, see, it stretches everything out. We don't really want that. We just want to, all we want to do is extend the bit that's not going to make it look weird. So don't catch the shadow, don't catch the cube, just the color. And there you go. Look how easy that was. Easy as pie. So that was one of the things to do. Fill out borders, fill in missing gaps. So now by filling missing gaps, I'll show you what I mean. So just say you wanted to arbitrarily take out one of these cubes for whatever reason. Really easy to do. There's a tool here called the Object Selection tool. Photoshop's pretty smart. Just put that around it, it'll probably get it right. Yeah, there you go, easy. And you want to take it out, so all you do is press delete. Easy. If you wanted to make it bigger, Control C, copy it, paste it, and now look, we've got another layer. If I put that layer behind our image, it will disappear. So we want to bring that image layer up on top. So put that back where it was. So if you want to make it bigger, Control T to transform it. Boom. That probably looks a bit stupid, but yeah, I'm just showing you an example. But just so you wanted to get rid of it, you delete that, and then I'd select it again. Now this is an interesting part. So this is the Photoshop thinks that everything under this highlighted line is the object that we're looking at. Obviously we don't want this part included, we just want the cube. So what you would do is go to quick selection. The quick selection tool lets you quickly select objects. So in this example, I'll use it to select this whole cube. And it uses quite a lot of AI to kind of guess what you're looking for. But we only want this cube. So if you hold Alt key while you're selecting, it deselects. So now I can get rid of all this stuff that Photoshop's looking at. See? Now we're just looking at the cube again. Perfect. Delete that. And then, yeah, we can use that same trick I taught you just now. It's going to look a bit blurry, but this is about the best that you're going to get, that I know how to do. Oops. So, to do this, hold Shift CTRL Alt C, and hold Shift while you're dragging along. There you go. You got rid of the cube, and it looks a little bit messy there. You could do it a few more. You could do a few more drags to tidy it up, but no one's going to notice that, to be honest. So yeah, you got rid of one of the cubes. Perfect. What's next? What else was I going to teach you? Remove background, increase size, increase saturation. Yeah, I mean, I've already showed you most of the important stuff. So just say you wanted to make this stand out more. We'll increase the saturation of the picture frame we're actually trying to sell. Object selection over the picture frame. This is going to get a lot wrong. That was actually surprisingly good. So now we want to tidy it up a bit to make sure we're selecting everything. We go to the quick selection tool. Fill in these missing bits. We don't want this included, although it won't really matter because all the background's the same color, so that wouldn't really matter too much. Boring stuff. You see how easy this is? I mean, I had to learn this all on my own and it took me ages. If I had like a Photoshop drop shipping video to show me how to do this, it would have saved me so much time. So yeah, I mean, that's it. The thing is, this shadow is going to be out of touch. We'll see if it looks good. So I've copied it. Now I'm pasting it. Now I actually just have the photo frame. Which I can make bigger. Yeah, that looks rough. So let's make it bigger that way. See? We made it look slightly bigger. Obviously, depending on the image, this is going to be a lot harder or easier to do. But let's say we also want to increase the saturation. So we click on the layer that we want to change, which is just this, which we've just isolated. Go to Image, Adjustments, Saturation. And you can play around with it to make it look better. Obviously it's white, so white's not going to work very well. But even if you put saturation to 0, it looks the exact same. You can make it a bit more colourful. Cool. But yeah, that's it. So I'll take you through one more. I mean, now this is basically Pinterest ready because you've got it in the right dimensions. And yeah, you could put some text at the top or bottom. Let's have a look. Just for the sake of argument, I'll use this. I probably wouldn't actually put a buy now, but that's a WebP file. Oh, I don't want to use that. Well, it looks clean. That looks quite nice. PNG, beautiful. Downloads. I probably wouldn't put a buy now button on a Pinterest ad, but I'm just showing you this as an example. That is tiny. Doesn't matter. There you go. Then you can put your logo at the top if you wanted, whatever. I'll show you how to, one of these might be a good example that's not a PNG to show you how to get rid of some other stuff. So just say hypothetically you wanted to use this image. You obviously don't want that white bit around. You could use the object selection tool and just select this, and Photoshop would probably recognize it. But a quicker way to do it would just be to use the magic wand. So first of all, rasterize the layer. Where is it? Otherwise you won't be able to edit it. And then if you come to the magic wand, this basically, the color that you tap, it selects everything else that is that same color. So it's selected all the white parts and you delete them. And for some reason, okay, that's really awkward. So it probably would just be easier to select the object. Didn't do a great job. But yeah, so this is basically Photoshop. It's a bit messy, but you can just go on, grab that Marquee tool, select whatever you want to select, and delete it. There you go. Now you have this buy now button, which is very ugly and I would never actually use. So yeah, that's really quickly taking you through some of the basic stuff of Photoshop. It's really easy. Photoshop's what you need for drop shipping. I uses this Marquee tool. This to make shapes like squares or circles. And yeah, object, quick, and magic wand. They're the only tools I've ever had to use in Photoshop. So they're most likely the only tools you will ever have to use as well. But I'll just take you through one more example to show you. Okay, so I found one more image that I want to show you guys. If you go to File, New, and then Square for Facebook ads. So just say you had this image and you wanted to turn it into a Facebook ad. Let's just go through some of the stuff we've quickly learned. First thing we want to do is you want to make it square. So why don't we do it like this? And let's say we don't want to cut out any more of the image. So what we'll do is, first thing we do is rasterize the layer so we can edit it. Again, I don't know what it means, it's just what you have to do. So let's extend this color upwards. Boom. Easy. Now, I mean this isn't a great image to be honest, but we're just using it as an example. So next we want to, let's say we want to make this photo frame bigger and stand out more. We go to object selection, select it. Let's see how good a job it does. That's fine. If you wanted to be really nitpicky, you could go in and using the quick selection tool, if you remember, if you hold Alt, you can remove the bits that you don't want. But seeing as this is the same color as the background anyway, there's not much point in removing it, if that makes sense. So what I would do is control copy it and then paste, and now you've got two of them. So there you go, literally just make it bigger so it looks a bit more appealing. You could try changing the saturation as well, although because it's white that's not going to do much. If you don't know what saturation is, that's basically how much it stands out, the colours. See, that doesn't change much at all. I mean, that looks horrible. That's normal. That stands out a little bit more. I'll show you saturation. It'll probably work well on this bed. That didn't work well at all. So if you see, it makes it stand out a little bit more. You don't want to go overboard, it will just make it look crazy. But that looks a lot more appealing in general than that. You see? So yeah, one more thing. So this is now in front of this, and this image doesn't make any sense. So why don't we hide this layer, select this layer. What we're going to do is select this as an object and bring it forward so that it's always behind. So that did a decent job, but what we want to do is hold Alt to deselect. We want to select Winnie the Pooh's head. We want to get rid of that bit in the middle. We want to select all of him. We want to select his leg. We don't want to select that. So it's just going back and forth basically until you get everything right. This is going to be a pain. So we're going to need a much smaller size here. Let's make it really small. That affects the size of this thing basically, of the cursor. Okay, that's roughly alright. I'd spend a bit more time on it if I was actually running the ad, and I wouldn't be running this image anyway because it's awful quality. So if you copy it and then paste and then put this layer in front of the photo frame layer, boom. So now we can make this as big as we want. It will always be behind that the mobile it's called. Okay, so here's an example of a product I was selling for a little bit. It's a personalized POD product, which I wouldn't recommend you start with. I'd recommend you first start ecom, just drop shipping from AliExpress, because that's the easiest way to learn. But when you get a bit more experience, you can, I'd say, branch out into stuff more like this. But yeah, so basically, if I wanted to make this stand out a bit more, like the print, there you go. Select this, copy and paste it. I can increase the saturation a little bit. Like, look at that, that looks so much better, doesn't it? You don't want to go overboard, that's too much. Maybe around 15, 20, that looks so much better. And then maybe you could also even do this. Drain some of the color. Oops, I didn't have the right layer selected. These faces are on this layer, not this layer. You could even drain some of the color out of these photos to make this stand out even more. Yeah, so that's a very quick example of how just playing around with the saturation even a little bit can make a much more appealing ad. So yeah, that's a super quick, simple, hopefully easy guide to the bare essentials of what you'd need to do ecom. And this is useful for so many things, not even just making ads. If you want your collection pages and like to look branded, you want to remove all the backgrounds from your images so they all look, or keep like the same kind of background for all your photos, that kind of thing. You need Photoshop to be able to do that. Like, we learned how to remove a background. It's really easy. Just select use the object selection, select what you want to keep, do a bit of adjusting with the quick selection tool, and then just, yeah, delete everything you don't need. So yeah, Photoshop's a super powerful tool. You really need it if you want to make your store look branded, and you really need it if you want to make ads better than your competition. I would recommend Photoshop. And I haven't posted, I want to post a video every week, but my main Facebook ad account got disabled recently in the run up to Christmas, which was brutal. Luckily I'm not an idiot, and I did have a spare ad account like ready to go in case that happened on my sister's Facebook page, but that got deleted, that got disabled after 2 days as well. So it's been a bit brutal. I've been working like a madman on Pinterest, Google Shopping and Google search ads, trying to make as much money as I can before Christmas, seeing as I can't advertise on Facebook right now. But yeah, in the description I'll go over everything as well in case you're practicing Photoshop and you forget how to do certain things. I'll just put it in the description. And I think that's everything. Thanks for watching. I think I'm going to do a case study for my next video, which is going to have a lot of value in it. And I also want to teach you how to edit videos using Lightworks, which is a free software, which is what I use. I've used it to do everything, and I make I make decent money, so it's all you'll need. Yeah, that's everything. Cheers, take care, hope you enjoyed. Like the video if you liked it. Thanks very much.